Hello and welcome to another lesson where we are making a game-ready character from scratch, from the idea to the actual animated or at least animatable model. In this short lesson, I decided that it is worth talking a little bit about the propeller. Here it is, the propeller, and if you need to see it in the context of the actual drawn character, if you have forgotten how it looks, this is how it looks. Now, the thing about the propeller here is probably the most complicated, or at least the most non-obvious part of the character. For one, it is pretty complicated with lots of blades, and it is also has to be animatable. The propeller will be clearly seen in certain situations, so we cannot have it just sitting there statically. It has to rotate. Therefore, it has to be a separate part. And so basically, what do we do about it? It is pretty complex. And if we want to, for instance, one way to go about it is to retopologize every single blade and just put it all together. And while we certainly can do that, it wouldn't be very efficient because that part would be way heavier than the rest of the character, probably by several fold. And even though we probably can afford this level of density for our game, it is not efficient. It is not a very good practice. So we need to find a workaround. We need to find a way to simplify it in such a way that it also works and doesn't make our model, our character, look too ugly and doesn't make it too heavy in terms of mesh density. So I decided that it would be a good idea to try transparency alpha maps. And here I have already prepared some edges inside Topogun to show you how I decided to go about retopologizing this element. So here in Topogun I already have some edges ready to show you how I decided to retopologize this propeller. And basically the trick here is that when you look at this propeller from the top view, you don't see between the blades. Therefore, if we have like a flat surface on top, the topology of these seemingly complicated blades will just bake right into it, and this might work. This might work. We only have these small areas near the edge of the propeller where there is, like you can see here, this uneven shape that breaks this circular shape. Let me just finish making some of the polygons. I've put vertices, the points, on the edges of the blades which are facing upwards, like this. And later, when I will bring it into 3ds Max, I will extend the surface so it covers the whole propeller. And I will also, I can even show you it here, I will also create a similar surface like I'm doing right now at the bottom. Because the propeller, sometimes it will be, we will see the upper part of the propeller, sometimes the belly part or the bottom part. So basically we need two canvases which will cover the propeller both from the top and from the bottom. Something like this. If you don't have hands-on experience with baking normal maps, it's probably a little hard for you to visualize right now what I'm going here after. But don't worry about that, because we will be doing a fair amount of experimentation with normal maps for the drone once we have all the elements ready and unwrapped before we commit to any specific configuration, because the character is complicated. There is no question here. And when it comes to complicated characters, you, even with experience, you don't necessarily always know what is best, what will work best in a given situation. So instead of trying to guess, we will be trying things out. Something like that. This rod, this thing in the middle of the propeller, it will be just retopologized. Normally I will not be showing how it is done because it's pretty straightforward, but just to demonstrate, so you have the full understanding of what I'm going after here, I will save this very quickly as an obj. I will open 3ds Max and I will import it. There it is. Something broke here. It's okay. The point got displaced slightly. Let me just remove it for now, and let me select the border and this one also, and I will scale it slightly outwards, like so. Right? Something like that. When we are doing the baking, this low poly part covers the high poly part completely, and we have a clean projection. You will be able to hopefully understand it better when we get to map baking, but so far this is how I've decided to try to go about retopologizing this very complicated element.